Gobby Gaffer. I have a few things to tell you before we get stuck into some football, because let's face it, that's what you're here for. You're here for the football, not to listen to me waffle. But at the end of the day, if I don't do a bit of waffling, players are going to pop up, games are going to pop up, and you won't know what's going on. So let's get into a little bit of waffling. So I can confirm that we are in the Europa League. We've gone straight into the league stage. So there's no playoffs. I'm not quite sure how all of that works. But anyway, we are into the league stage. While it's great being in a European competition, and to be honest, last season I kind of did say that, you know, I didn't know what flavour of European competition we were going to, get into. And any flavour would have been great. Once we actually qualified for the Champions League, I mean, I know how much money's involved in that because I've been there with SC Cambuur. And the money is great in there. It can wipe out debts and sort balances out and everything. Unfortunately, the Europa League is very, very far short of that. So where in the Champions League you get 2.4 million for a win, and you also get, I think it's about 8 to 12 million for actually participating. The Europa League, not so much. So for a win in the Europa League, you get $500,000. So it's about a fifth. Which, okay, we're in Europe, it's great. But, the one thing I wanted out of Europe this season was the money to sort the financial situation out. Because going forward, the only way I'm going to get more than 1.6 million in the summer transfer window is getting that bank balance sorted. And I don't think the Europa League is going to do that for us. But anyway, it is what it is. The other bit of good news is I have done some more transfers and I've gone into the loan market. So we're looking to the loan market now. Director of Football's been quite busy in there. He's actually plucked me out a right wing back that looks really decent. So he's come in. So let's have a quick look at who we brought in on transfers. Now I do have a change of formation, a change of tactic to talk to about as well. One of the things that occurred to me was that I did speak about the left winger role. Calidio, he went. We had Sharon, we had Benoit. I played them in a few games. It wasn't working out. They were coming back with stats at 6.4 and 6. Not great. So I thought, okay, how can we alter this? So I'll show you in a second what I've decided to do with that. But with that in mind, I brought in a French lad as well. So, we're looking at the European registration rules. So, Jeremy Vincent, he's a 20-year-old French attacking midfielder. So he's playing a little bit further forward in front of the kind of midfielders, just behind the striker, if you will. Again, very, very good stats. I will reiterate, he's French, which is very, very important for the registration rules. And he's going to fit into the new tactic, I think, really well. I've also brought in, my director of football found this one for me, Ibrahima Diouf. Again, a French player. He's going to be a backup goalkeeper. Roriel, the jury's out a little bit at the moment on Roriel. As you've already seen, he does let quite a lot of goals in. Now, okay, some of those can be attributed to him. Some of them may be the defence getting used to, playing with one another and playing with him behind them. Because it's a fairly new defence goalkeeper situation. So I'm not quite sure. But at this moment in time, the jury is out a little bit. The backup goalkeeper that I had had come through the youth ranks. It wasn't great, but I didn't have the money to buy one. So we've actually gone in for Ibrahima Diouf. He's come in, he's willing to be a backup goalkeeper. He's got some reasonable stats, 24-year-old. Again, French, very important. So we've got a backup goalkeeper now who is French and fits into the European system quite nicely. And then another lad who I'm grateful to my director of football. I couldn't find anybody and he was coming through with, most of the ones he was coming through with were older players who, okay, they've got experience, but, weren't great. And then all of a sudden, this Swiss lad pops up, Francois Mettler, 21-year-old. He looks right wing back. again, another little area where we were struggling. I'd promoted Ham, the young kid who's got 5-star potential, but I think I realised that, and bringing an 18-year-old in when we're in Europe, he's not the best. I mean, he's still in there and he can come on as sub, so he is getting some experience. But on the whole, we did need a regular, because last season we had Pembele on loan and he was our regular starter. So this season we've now got Francois Metler. He's going to be our regular wing back. He can play attacking wing back. So again, really good stats. I think he's going to do quite well for us. And with these new signings, we've got the 2 Spanish lads in midfield as well. I'm much happier now about the squad depth, the squad quality. I think going forward now, once this team starts to gel and 1 or 2 of the players learn the language, I think we can do okay now. I'm not as kind of disheartened as I was before this episode. Now I've signed these new players, I think things are starting to fall into place a little bit more. So the Europa League has been drawn, and if we just have a quick look at who we've been drawn against. So today we're going to watch 2 games. We're going to watch the first game in the Europa League, and that is versus Sarajevo. They're a 3-star team. We should have the beating of them, but it is away. And then we'll be watching another away game against PSG. If we can do as well against PSG as we did against Monaco, then I'll be chuffed to little mint balls. But anyway, so the Europa League. So we've got Sarajevo, we've got Hapoel Beersheva, Derry City, Newcastle, who are favourites for the competition. We've got Malmo, St Gallen, FCSB from Bucharest, and the last game will be Sevilla. Now, unlike the Champions League, I do think if we can perform to our capabilities, I think we have a chance of getting in the top 8 there. There's quite a few games in there. I would be very, very disappointed if we didn't win them. Get the 3 points, get the $500,000, but end up in that top 8. And then maybe the money will go up a little bit. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. We're obviously not going to win it, because I don't think we'll be beating the likes of Newcastle. And I've had a look, there are some top teams in there, so it's not going to be easy. But I certainly think we could get in the top 8. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. And while we're in the schedule, if we just have a quick look at what's been happening. So ignore the Sporting result. I'm still absolutely gutted about that one. But then we played in the league game against newly promoted Paris FC. We beat them 3-1. Quite an easy game for us, that one. We played quite well, scored 3 goals. Then we played FC Lorient. This was the craziest game I think I've ever been involved in. We were 2-0 down after very little time, and I thought, oh, here we go. But then we got it back to 2-2. Then we went 3-2 down, and it was just an absolutely mad game. And it ended up at 4-4, and we managed to nick a winner really late on in the game, and we won that game 5-4. Very similar in the Bordeaux game as well. Not quite sure what's going on with Football Manager at the moment. There seems to be some very crazy in-game chaos, where as a commentator you're trying to, I think you've already seen it, I've already spoken about it, the ball, you win the ball in midfield and, oh yeah, we've just won, oh no, we've lost again, oh we've won it back, oh we've lost it again. It's a really chaotic, and I'm not quite sure what Sports Interactive are doing with the game at the moment. It's very, and yeah, I know that happens in football, I know it does, but it doesn't happen all the time, and at the moment it's happening multiple times in a game. It's very hard to commentate on, very hard to get your head round, but also score lines at the moment. So when I was talking about my goalkeeper, Roriel, so he let 4 goals in that game, he let 2 goals in this game here. I mean, he's been okay since. I have actually started a training regime focused very, very heavily on defence, because our defence just seems to be a little bit chaotic. I don't know whether I can affect that, or whether the AI is just saying, no, sorry, this is the way the game plays now, get used to it. I don't know. But again, the Bordeaux game, we went behind in that game as well. And it was level at 2-2. and we managed to sneak that game 3-2. So again, another chaotic game. And then we played 2 friendlies and 2 nice big wins in there. And then we played at Lyon, and that was a nice, comfortable win in that one. Again, I don't know whether the AI is settling or whether my team is settling. Nice 2-0 win in that one. And then that leaves us nicely settled in the league. So at the moment, it's a bit of a strange looking league table because Rennes are actually on top. But we all know about early season. There's always a team who, wins every game and ends up top, and then they generally just fall away. So this season it's Rennes, but then again, we have come up against Rennes. They knocked us out. Did they beat us in the cup final last season? So we have got previous with them. But anyway, 5 games played. They're top with 15 points. PSG have dropped some points already. They're on 13. And we've played the 5 games and got 13 points as well. So we're level points with PSG. The past 5 games have been 4 wins and a draw for both us and PSG. Is that a good omen going into this game? Not sure. I hope it is, because I'd like to get something out of PSG. It's very unlikely, but I would like to do. And I did speak about a new tactic that I've been trying out. I think the lads are still settling into this, but we've actually had 3 clean sheets now. Okay, I know 2 of them were friendlies, but Lyon, they're a good team, and we beat them 2-0, didn't concede. So maybe this is a tactic that we can move going forward. To be quite honest, I've done it out of necessity, really, because I haven't really got a left winger. So we're playing a bit of an asymmetric system now. So it's the usual suspects, but we're playing Vlasic, and this is where the new lad Jeremy Vincent comes in. He's a top-class attacking midfielder. Vlasic has played really well in that position. He played 2 games in that new position, and he had a rating of like 7.3, 7.4 in each game. So he played really well in that forward position. So we're not playing with a left winger. We are playing with a left-sided player, but there's no left winger now. Sek is still playing as the inside forward on that side, and we've got Cisse who can come in. Again, the jury's a little bit out on him. Seems a bit eccentric. Some games he looks like a world beater. Other games he can't even kick a ball straight. So, but then again, to my mind, that's what the AI is doing in this current version of Football Manager. It's very, very unpredictable, and there doesn't seem to be an awful lot of consistency. But anyway, so this is the new formation that we've been playing now for 3 or 4 games. And it seems to be working. I think we're still trying to get used to it. Anyway, loads of waffling there, but, like I say, I can't just spring these things on you without explaining what I'm doing, who I've brought in, who we've played, why that scoreline was 5-4. It's all madness. These things need to be explained. So let's get past the waffling, let's get into some football, and we're going to play our first game in the Europa League, and it's away at Sarajevo. We'll see you in the dugout. Okay, let's get stuck straight into this Europa League game. It's our first game. It's really important that the money is not great, but it's important that we do try and get into that top eight to try and maximise the amount of money that we can earn out of this competition. So we've got Roryl in goal, back 4 of Heskey, Argiolas, Diogo and the new lad Metler. The midfield 3 are Arbeloa, Armand and Perrone. Vlasic is playing in this new attacking midfielder role, this new formation that we've got. Sek is the inside forward on the right, and Cavalan is the striker up front. Okay, well, the game is underway, not an awful lot happening. There's 20 minutes on the clock. It's still 0-0. Very, very poor performance this by the looks of it. We just have not hit the ground running. Sarajevo have not even got out of the dressing room, I don't think. We've had 5 shots, 1 on target, XG of 0.66. Are we even going to get a highlight in the first half? No, we're not. That is very, very, very poor. So, far from pleased. Sort yourselves out. I mean, maybe a half-time team talk will G them up a little bit. We do get a highlight. So Mettler, our new right wing-back, is injured, which is great, isn't it? Perone, Armand, Arbeloa, Vlasic. Vlasic is going to have a shot. Way over the top. Very, very, very poor indeed. And we just don't look at the races, do we? At all. So Armand picks the ball up in midfield. Arbeloa, Vlasic, get back on side. Heskey is going to put that ball in the middle, and that's in the back of the net. And there's that Cavalan who scored that one. That's a very nice goal. The referee is having a little bit of a rummage, and it's gone to VAR. And what's the verdict going to be? I did shout him back from being offside, so maybe he was onside actually, and it does stand. So we're 1-0 ahead. So I did step us up to attack, and I'm just going to go back to balanced, I think. A 1-0 away in our first game. We're obviously not playing particularly well, so I think we're just going to have to take that one on the chin. 3 points is what is important. Arbeloa again trying to get a ball through to Cavalan, but doesn't get there. Argiolis. Arbeloa picked up by Heskey. We just don't look very sharp, do we, at all? Some of the games that we've played recently, we've looked really sharp. We've been winning the ball in midfield and defence. Look really sharp. A bit like that, you know, looking as though we... yeah, looking as though we're interested. And today we just don't look on it at all. But we do have a corner. Vlasic is going to put this... I've got near post corners, I think, at the moment. Yeah, near post corner. But we don't get ahead on that ball, which generally we don't do at corners. So we're into the 75th minute now. Yeah, I've made all my subs in one go. I've done my usual trick of going to time wasting, etc. So Hammer's come on, Magabane, Cabal, all at the back. They've all come on now for to try and keep that defence a little bit tighter. And Menino and Mbaye have come on in midfield. Hopefully the extra legs, the extra energy will see us through in this game. Because quite frankly, I don't think we've been that great. I mean, we've had 17 shots, 7 on target, but we just haven't looked. The highlights that we've seen, we've not looked on it at all. There's a fresh legs on the pitch now. We've swung that ball out to Sek. Sek is coming in, has a shot, miles wide. We know we can do an awful lot better than that. And the game now is petering out, hopefully into time added on. And yes, we've got our 3 points in our first game in the Europa League. 1-0 away. Nice, I'll take that all day long. So a little bit of a stuttering performance there, but at least we've got the 3 points, and sometimes that's what it's all about. Just get that goal in the back of the net, defend for your lives, and hopefully come away with 3 points. And which I think we're going to have to do in the next game as well, because it's PSG away. It's going to be a very, very difficult game, that one. But we are level points with them at the moment, and the last 5 games, the form is exactly, they're identical, the form between us and PSG. Can we carry something into that game? It's a game after the Europe, but then PSG will have played as well. So anyway, we'll see you in the dugout very, very shortly. Well, welcome to Paris for our first game against PSG this season. The team is Rural in goal, back 4 of Heskey, Cabal, Gattini and Magabane. Got quite a few tired legs after our European adventure. The midfield 3 are Arbeloa, Armand and Perone. We've got Vincent, the new lad, starting as attacking midfielder today, with Sek on the wing, and Cavalan is the striker. And the game kicks off. I think you can pretty much guarantee in this game that however PSG have been playing, they will definitely turn it on in this game. And it's took them 7 minutes, just under 8 minutes to get into the lead. Todibo there rises, heads the ball in the back of the net. We're 1-0 down already. So all of my tactical defensive shape, playing cautious within the first 7 minutes is all out of the window. And this is not great. But it is PSG. PSG will be fighting. I mean, Rennes are keeping that top spot warm for them at the moment, but PSG will end up there at some stage in the season and will win the league again. It's pretty nailed on. But as long as we don't get embarrassed here and you know, just turn in a performance where we actually look like we know what we're doing. And we've got the ball here. We're trying to build an attack. Our man to Perrone. It's all very, very tight in there. Maybe the ball, and we give the ball away. Maybe that ball needed to go out wide and we need to stretch the play a little bit. And that's a very, very, very poor header. But we do pick the ball up. Another one of these little things that's going on with FM at the moment where you lose possession, no, you pick it up. You lose, no, you picked it up again. But PSG are coming forward. And that's going to go in the back of the net. And we're 2-0 down. And the AI are obviously looking at this game saying, RC Lens, who are they? Gang of buffoons. PSG are going to absolutely score a bag full of goals. It has been disallowed though. You'll gather I'm a little bit pessimistic, and I'm not Football Manager's greatest fan when it comes to the match engine and the AI. But anyway, it is 1-0 and with half an hour gone. We've done really, really well this season, and a lot of the results have been, you know, the result against Monaco, absolutely brilliant. And I thought today maybe we could put that kind of performance in again. Maybe not, I don't know. But ball forward, and that goes just wide of the post. We're not really in this game at the moment. I think I am going to step it up a little bit. We're going to go to balanced. Let's just try and put a little bit of pressure on them. Sasek with the ball. Arbeloa. Ball straight to a PSG player. But again, we get a turnover of play. Heskey down this left-hand side. Ball given away again. So PSG now. You can guarantee as many times as the ball is given away, it will always end up with PSG for an attack. So we very nearly won the ball back there, but not quite. PSG down the right-hand side. Swing the ball into the box. That's going to get side-footed in and a tap in, is it? No, get your head on that. That's hit the crossbar. The keeper saves. Good save from Roriel. Very instinctive save. We have got a little bit of a breakaway, but we lose the ball again. So we're going into half-time, and we're losing 1-0. So they are going to get a flea in the rear. I'm going to say, I know we're up against it, but come on, this is a rivalry. You don't look like you care. Get it together. Get your act together and start playing some football. Start putting these PSG players under a bit of pressure and stop giving the ball away. I mean, I've said it so many times in commentary, and there we go. We're 2-0 down now. That one's not going to get disallowed. But you cannot be giving the ball away like we did in the first half to teams like PSG, because they will punish you every time. Don't want to see that again. Absolutely horrible. And we're doing absolutely nothing in this game. We've had 5 shots, absolutely nothing on target. We're so far behind PSG, it's unbelievable. So there literally is no point in carrying on playing defensively in this game. So we've gone to a positive mentality. Carvalho has gone up front now with Cavalan. We're just going to move Vlasic a little bit more central now. Cisse has come on the wing. I mean, can we nick a goal in this? I mean, you know what I think about consolation goals, but I mean, let's face it, Monaco did it to us, didn't they? In the 91st minute and the 92nd minute, they scored 2 goals, and I mean, I think we're just going to give them a bit of a demand more. I don't think we've got what it takes to come back into this game, but you never know. Donnarumma with the ball. Out onto their right-hand side. They're just passing the ball around now. Just nice and comfortable for them. 2-0 up. And we've just given that ball away so poorly. I mean, what was that in defence? Really, what was that in defence? I mean, let's just have a look at this again. It's awful to watch, but I mean, what is that? Oh, my word. Oh, we are so going to have to play better than this season if we're going to do well. And I'm now thinking whether this new tactic is going to work or not, this new formation, because we've been absolutely shocking there today. The stats, PSG, 20 shots, 13 on target, XG of 2.15. We've had 7 shots, nothing on target whatsoever, and XG of 0.75. I mean, absolutely appalling. I'm disappointed to lose to our rivals, underdogs or not. These players need to wake up. They need to wake up. I mean, that now is drops us down. We're now in 4th place, having played 6 games with 13 points. I mean, I don't expect to win the league, but we're going to have to do an awful lot better than that. Well, I did think after the Monaco result, I did think that maybe this season we were going to step up a little bit. And since the Monaco game, I brought new players in that really lifted my hopes and my spirits that we're going to do better. Okay, I know it's PSG. Maybe I'm getting a little bit carried away. You know, maybe when we play anything from like 8th in the league downwards, you know, we will turn up and we will play. But we didn't play that well against Sarajevo, and we nicked to 1-0 in that, so I don't think this team is playing that well at the moment. It's slightly worrying, if I'm honest. Okay, well, we're going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed this episode, as usual, please give me a like. If you're new around here, please subscribe. I've got a little bit of head scratching to do now. It's always the way, isn't it? You bring a new tactic in, a new formation. Is it going to work? Does it need time to settle in? Well, to find out, you're going to need to come back and watch the next episode as I try to get this team performing, balance the books, and all manner of things that I need to go and scratch my head for. Come back and watch the next episode. We'll see you next time.